Lethem is located in the Upper Takatu Upper Essequibo region. It is the regional capital of Upper Takatu Upper Essequibo. It is named after Sir Gordon James Lethem. He was the governor of British Guyana from 1941 to April 12, 1947. At the border of Brazil, Lethem used to be characterized by its laterite roads. The community is flanked by golden brown savannas, massive termite mounds, and rainforest. Now the community has been transformed into a buzzing town, seeing massive developments in housing, infrastructure, and healthcare.
The Ministry of Housing and Water has been putting forward a very aggressive housing program. Here in Region 9 today, residents have gathered to take part in the allotment process for a brand new housing scheme about to be developed in this region. Now, Ms. James, tell me about the process you went through today.
Well, I'm so glad that I got through with the house lot. I was trying a very long time, so I succeed today.
As a young mother, you're here today applying for a house lot. How does that make you feel to be able to actually acquire a house lot at such a young age?
I feel very excited. I feel honored because a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to obtain a land at a young age. I feel very honored to have, at 22 years old, to have my own house lot.
Well, you applied for a house lot here today?
Not today, I applied a few years ago.
Okay, so how do you feel now that the process is actually moving forward?
Actually, I'm excited. When I got the call, I was speechless because I've been waiting for so long, and I finally getting through with what I wanted. I am grateful.
So I'm here with Morna Buckley. Now, you're here today as single parent, you're applying for a house lot. How does that make you feel?
I am very grateful for this land because I've been renting on my own, and it's very hard to pay bills every month. I have to find X amount of money to pay bills, especially rent. And now that I have a land, I can go to the bank and use my title to get a loan to build my house. And my son will inherit this place. It wouldn't be for me, it would be for my son.
And that's important as a parent, you know, having something to leave for the next generation. Community Talk cameras caught up with the Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Minister within the Ministry of Housing. On her dream realized quest, I should say, the ministry has been pushing for the allotment of house lots to residents and establishments of new housing schemes. Minister, today you're here in Region 9. Tell us a bit about the turnout and how people have been responding to this Dream Realized program in the region.
Well, as you can see, Cordell, the response has been tremendous. We have designed a housing scheme that has over 800 lots, and that includes low-income lots, moderate-income lots, middle-income lots, commercial lots, public open spaces, identified areas for institutions, meaning schools, health centers, etc. And the list goes on. We're making available today 500 residential lots that will be within that scheme. But the point is, it is a comprehensive housing scheme. So we're putting in all of the infrastructure development now, and so that these can become available very soon. But that people will be able to take up their house lots in a scheme that has businesses, and they will have access to in the future schools and so on. They can find jobs there, and they can access the services that will be provided from the commercial lots.
So it's a case where government is just not putting persons into an area with house lots. You're putting in all the infrastructure, as you said, schools and things, so persons can live, work, and enjoy that community.
Right, absolutely. We want people to be able to live in a community, to be able to live in a sustainable community. In our quest to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 11, sustainable housing and cities. So that is something that we want for every single Guyanese, and our focus, like we have said from the time we took office, is on home ownership. So we're going beyond mere house lot allocation. We have present here today at the activity several commercial banks, insurance companies, the Guyana Water Inc., so that people can move through that process. They can receive their allocation, and the ministry will be there to assist them with the process with the banks acquiring a loan, a mortgage, and help them with construction. And the government is there for them too, because we've made several interventions from the time we took office: zero rating construction materials, increasing the mortgage interest relief ceiling, giving assistance to first-time homeowners so that we can encourage them to build.
Right.
And we can have schemes, housing schemes that look like sustainable communities, that looks like a neighborhood.
So I'm here with Adam Azir, the Clerk of Works for the Ministry of Housing and Water here in Region 9. So Adam, tell us a bit about the scope of work happening here in Tapachinga.
Well, right now, this is the Tapachinga. We're upgrading the road in Tapachinga. We're doing 360 feet of 2 feet wide drain by 2 feet depth coming in, 360 meters. And then we're doing, we're asphalting the road for 720 meters.
Okay.
And with this section as well, we also putting the 2 by 2 feet drain on the right-hand side coming in. And on the left-hand side, we have to put in some curbs with an 18-inch slip drain to take off the water from the road.
Okay. So this here would alleviate flooding in the area?
Yes, definitely, because as you can see right here, we have the land on this side of the road is much higher. So all of the water from this side of the land is going to come down into the drain. And that will take off all the water from this side. On this side, on the left-hand side, we have the land is lower. So all the water will go towards the riverside. So from here, we're only doing a slip drain to accommodate the water that's going to come off this half of the road.
So when are these works expected to be finished?
Well, we're hoping to finish it by the end of December.
Now, you're a resident of Tapachinga. There's a lot of road works happening in that area. Tell us a bit about what the roads were like before the upgrade that is happening now.
Well, the roads were terrible, very terrible. Like, we had to walk in the middle and vehicles had to drive to the end. But with the roads being done right now, I think that is a big move. That's a big upgrade. I'm very happy that they're doing that. And the roads look like it's being done great because they're having the concrete drains and everything. I think that's a big improvement.
Okay, so you told me you're from Tapachinga. There's a lot of roadworks happening there. As a resident, how do you feel about that?
Well, it is a very, very great development and improvement to our community, knowing that for so long we had terrible roads and it wasn't pleasing. It was very uncomfortable to pedestrians. And so now with the improvement and the development and the construction of new road, I think that is very commendable. And like I always say, slow progress is better than no progress. And we're thankful for the new roads and all these things.
I noticed in Tapachinga they're also putting in concrete drains to help with flooding and that kind of thing too.
Right, that is one aspect, and we'll be asphalting that too.
Okay.
We have that to finish off, and then we have one internal road that we're going to address this year. So come next year, we continue as the funds roll out from different ministries actually. Ministry of Housing is doing that one over there. So, you know, we are heading in the right direction. Our plan is to have, you know, I was telling them by the time I leave in the next 4 years, I must have most of the connections to the villages by roadway. Either rain or sun, we must be able to get into those villages. That is my aim.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all aspects of life in Guyana.
Here in Lethem, at the border with Brazil, government has taken a phased reopening process, allowing for the back and forth of cars, vehicles, and even commercial vehicles. Persons coming to and fro must provide their vaccination cards and have their vehicles sanitized. This is in an effort to stave off the COVID-19 pandemic. What do you think about the border being reopened?
Well, we was waiting this for a very long time, you understand, because we almost grew up between these two borders and we need to live between one country and the next country, you understand? What we don't get here, we get over there. What we don't get over there, we get over here.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. So you appreciate the
Yeah, we
spraying
appreciate.
and
Yes,
stuff
yes,
for the
yes,
COVID
yes,
measures?
yes. That is very good, right? Very good.
What do you think about the border being reopened?
Really good because we feel a lot in Bonfing, so I think everybody can look after themselves and we can work it out with this virus.
Okay.
It's very good for both sides.
Okay. So we're doing spraying and things like that. Do you think that's going to help fight the pandemic, keep the virus at bay?
For sure, yes. It's a really good thing.
I don't see nothing wrong with the border opening because we airport open, plane coming in and they got more countries coming in through there than we. Here is like me, I live in Hawaii. I don't get a car. You understand? Now? I don't got to tongue once in a while. So I feel that it's a good thing. At least for the people that live in here, right? Children going to school. And for me, for get medical attention, I have to come to Lethem. And if the border closed, I can dead over there, right? Because they ain't going to look after me. The guys the guy needs.
I'm talking with Tessa. Tessa, you said this is your second time crossing back over the border. What do you, since it has reopened? So, how, as a resident, how do you feel about it being open?
Oh, well, I really appreciate it because it's really important for us on both sides because, you know, both countries need each other, you know, to do what they have to do. So I really appreciate that.
Okay. So in terms of business and stuff, things were really slowed up with the closing?
Yes, it was on both sides.
So I'm here with Carlos Rahamon, part of the team doing sanitization here at the Guyana-Brazil border. Carlos, tell me a bit about what goes on here when vehicles come and go.
Well, first we have the persons there doing spraying for foot and mouth. They're spraying the wheels of the vehicle and so coming from Brazil. We, as a sanitizing team, we sanitize in and out the vehicles and persons in the vehicles.
So this is an effort out of the RDC to ensure that COVID and foot-to-mouth disease is not brought, new cases are brought to Guyana?
Well, not currently. This is basically due to the border opening. We're trying to make sure we sanitize so that we will be safe on our side, right?
So right now it's a phase reopen. So how many days are you open? What time do you close off? What time do you open up?
Well, we start at, most of the time vehicles start coming at 7, right? So we try to be out here as early as possible. So when the vehicles start come, we have the health team here, the soldier, police.
How has the region been dealing with COVID-19 since the reopening of the border? Has there been any increases or anything of the sort? Notice of any of the variants or anything?
All right, interesting question. We would have seen we had our pretty much difficult periods during the COVID-19 pandemic, whereby there were many villages, which was considered a hotspot or basically having community spread. And with a team that was very much overwhelmed with the response or the necessity or need to respond to these crises, we can yet say that they would have done an excellent job to ensure that all persons once reach out, we would be able to attend to. We would have our days whereby COVID-19 was basically, in terms of active cases, way over 200 active cases. And I'm pleased to say at the moment, we're just about 16 active cases throughout the region. Yes, we have 23 deaths during that period. And we say that's 23 too much deaths. I guess that subsequently we would have had a lot of initiatives in terms of the sensitization and with the work of the RDC, who was very instrumental, I must say. The contribution of REO, regional chairman, the mayor, Lethem, and all the other agencies, governments, we would have worked, notwithstanding the law enforcement, who would have helped to provide that safe environment by enforcing the COVID-19 protocol. We would have seen a drastic reduction in
several new buildings were commissioned in this compound to offer more health services to citizens in this region. Tell us a bit about those new services that you're offering now, and how is that complementing what you offered before?
In terms of buildings, we would have looked at right here in the Lethem Hospital compound. There was an improvement whereby a new ICU building was constructed. That was recently commissioned by the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony. Additionally, we had a new staff quarters to cater for 3 apartments. That also was recently been done in terms of the commissioning ceremony. We also had the extension of or construction of a brand new maternal and child health unit, which also has a boardroom that will have all our meetings and so forth, and an ophthalmology and an NICU being done right here in the compound. All of these are geared whereby specialist care can be granted, and we reduce the amount of referral to Bovista or to Georgetown Public Hospital. The whole plan is that persons can have their requisite surgical and other clinical procedures done here as the main one, and they can be of no cost to themselves or to their family, and all will be done and thanks to the initiative of the government of Guyana, who has been very instrumental in to make this possible.
In 2020, the Guyana Energy Agency, Farfen and Mendes Limited, and Soventic Caribbean CRL signed a $1 billion agreement to construct solar voltaic farms at Bartica, Region 7, and Lethem, Region 9. This agreement entailed the execution of the engineering, procurement, construction, and installation and commissioning of the power plants, which includes battery energy storage systems for the hinterland, especially Bartica and Lethem.
Lethem is installing a solar farm. Currently it's being run on diesel generators. Costs for the private sector in this region is really high. How will the addition of that solar farm help the private sector in this region in terms of lowering costs and things like that?
To answer your question, firstly, I want to say that the solar farm will definitely help the business community. Two ways. One, the supply will be more reliable, especially during the day, because it's more leaning towards the daytime supply because of no batteries. But more importantly, because our electricity rates is one of the highest in Guyana at the moment. And we're pleading with all the governments to see what they can do to bring it down. Electricity costs can sometimes be 20% of your income, which in any business is too high. So we welcome the installation of the solar farm, and we expect relief not only with the quality of the reliability of the electricity supply, but also a reduction in the electricity costs, which will definitely allow us to reduce prices for consumer benefits. And in addition, residences will be able to add to their homes much needed kitchen equipment, etc. Housewives might purchase a washing machine, things like this to help them in their day-to-day life.